Hello and welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday. I'm the Systems Administrator, Ryan Parkin, and I'm going to be covering password overview and safety. During this presentation, we are going to cover why passwords are important, what makes a good password, and your safety online. I want to cover a few key definitions. These are terms that I think are important for you to understand, especially as we go through this video. So, password, a word or phrase that must be spoken by a person in order to pass a guard. That is the definition from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. That's probably not the definition we have of a password, but a password is essentially something that allows you to gain access or control to something. Safety, the state of not being exposed to danger. It's important. We don't want to be in danger. Phishing, the tricking of internet users to the use of email, messages, or websites into revealing personal or confidential information. And the dark web. The dark web is a real thing. It's accessed through special software. It allows users to remain anonymous and conduct certain things online that we would consider illegal. And the last one, ignorance. The state of being unaware or uninformed. And I did throw that in there because I think it's important in today's digital landscape that users of technology understand the current threats and how your data is being handled and used. Okay, passwords. Passwords control access to sensitive information, your privacy, and your security. Sensitive information could be your banking, your health information. Privacy could be your messages, your social media, your smart home. So security lies in the protection of your data. And how do we accomplish that? It's ever changing. It's important that you take time to understand where your data is on the internet, and whether or not you are, conducting the best practices to ensure that data is safe. You do have a digital identity. So why it matters? You don't want somebody having access to your family photos, your online banking, maybe sensitive work documents, your communication with others, your social media. And another one is mobile apps that you have on your phone and health information. Okay, your physical machine, your laptop. In today's computing environment, it's not always the case that a bad actor has to have your physical computer. They can access it remotely. This is usually done by phishing attempts or social engineering. We're going to cover that. But the bad actors can spy on you. They can have complete control and access over your data. They can control certain things connected to your computer. They can access your work-related systems and your personally identifiable information. They can utilize your computer resources to conduct nefarious activities online, usually under the radar, or they can conduct them as you. And the common exploits. Phishing is the fraudulent practice of sending emails or other messages pretending to be from a reputable company in order to trick individuals to reveal personal information, such as passwords and credit card numbers. Social engineering is the use of centralized planning in an attempt to manage social change and regulate the future development and behavior of society. Recycling passwords. This is another common one. We'll just add a 123 and an exclamation mark to the end of my current password, and we'll just continue to add to that. The more a password is reused, the more opportunities are for your data and money to be stolen. Ransomware. I think we're all familiar with this, but it's a type of malicious software that's designed to block access to a computer system until a sum of money is paid.
I hate to tell you this, but you're probably doing passwords wrong. At least that's what the National Institute of Standards says in the document they produced a few years ago with password guidance. It basically says what we've been doing as an organization with password strength policies is making security worse, not better. So the old rules, let's take a look at those. It was that there was a formula you needed to follow. Mixture of upper and lowercase characters, numbers, special characters, things like that. And what that does in combination with an expiration date is make it so that users end up with passwords they can't remember. And if they can't remember them, then they have to write them down. And if we make them change them a lot, then they've really got to write them down. So instead of the old rules of a formula and expiration, in fact, the new guidance is that we should look at length. Length is strength when it comes to passwords. The longer your password, the harder it's going to be to crack. And if you choose something like a passphrase, something that is something you will remember, maybe even a sentence. If you came up with Mary had a little lamb, you can remember that very easily. Now, don't choose that one because everyone else will guess it. But some phrase like that is long and hard to crack and easy to remember. And don't change your password. The new rules say have them last indefinitely. Unless there's a particular reason to change a password, leave it in place because changing them constantly is causing people to choose bad passwords and write them down. Old rules also said provide hints. In case you can't remember your password, right there on the login screen, it might say something like, okay, here's a question to help you remember what your password is. The new rules say, nope, no hints. Because think about it this way, why would we give a hint to an unauthenticated user? We don't know if it's you or not. If you're the bad guy, I don't want to be making it easier for you to guess what my password is. And the old rules all relied on secret questions to reset. If I've forgotten my password and need to come up with a new one, then there's a set of questions that I'll ask you that presumably only you would know the answer to. The new rules say, no, go out of band for that kind of connection, for that kind of reset. In other words, make a phone call, make a text message, use some other form of communication in order to verify that the user is who they claim to be, because the secret questions turn out not to be all that secret. In fact, most of those answers that relate to your favorite this or that or your high school mascot can all be found on social media. So old rules lead to more insecure passwords. New rules lead us to a better user experience and better security. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video. I hate to tell you this, but you're...
Okay, safety. Your personal and professional safety, understanding the digital landscape, and recovery counts. These are all things that can help keep you safe. Understanding that you do have personal information and you do have professional information, and you can be targeted by either one of those. Your digital identity. It is your data, whether it be your personal or your professional, depending on that actor and how he wants to try to attack you. It could be because your professional title, you're a superintendent at a school district and they get your information from the school website. They know your email. They can begin targeting you. Or your personal identity. Maybe you just weren't well aware of best practices and security practices for browsing the internet, and you clicked on something, and now they have easy access and they are going to exploit that personal information from you. All right, so your online digital footprint. It is essentially your online behavior, your purchasing history, your interests, your curiosities, relationships, and your actions, what you do online. A lot of time, this data will be stolen and you won't even know it. It'll be sold to, on the dark web. People can use it to try to manipulate your behavior online. Maybe they know that you have been shopping for a new car, and they're going to try to trick you to get this one exact car that you've been researching the most. But maybe they send out a fake email with a really good deal on this vehicle, and you click on it, and they get backdoor access to your machine, your information, etc. That's just one example. The use of data is still evolving. Big data is huge. There's definitely a market there for data. In a sense, when you sign up and you use certain services or applications, there's terms and conditions on what they can do with it. But, a lot of people that steal your information, they're not playing by the rules. So it's important to understand that you are vulnerable. This is what a bad actor looks like, what we think looks like a bad actor. That's not typically the case. It could be somebody dressed up at a coffee shop who is connected to the local guest network at that coffee shop. So it's important for you to understand that that's an unsecured network. So you take your device there, you connect to it, and immediately they can see your device, maybe the model of it, certain firmware versions of software it's running, and they can begin looking for exploits or security holes within that system and begin trying to attack you. So just wanted to put that out there and just let you know that this is not what every bad actor looks like that's operating on the dark web or trying to gain access to your information. And lastly, the number of data breach and cyber attacks in 2023, and it's expected to double within the next 10 years. So that concludes my presentation on passwords and safety. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or the IT department. And thank you, and have a great day.